Josh with ReasonRefillsForYou.com. This is a Reason 5 Quick Keys tutorial, as well as one little tip that I found that kind of made me happy. So this tutorial was made with Reason 5 in conjunction with Record 1.5, but many of these quick keys apply to previous versions of Reason as well. And the reason I decided to make the tutorial about quick keys is because I really feel that quick keys are an often overlooked part of software that can drastically speed up your workflow and therefore increase your productivity. Some of the quick keys that I show you, you may use all the time, but then some of them quite possibly may be new to you. So I wanted to go over them. The first set of quick keys I wanted to cover were the QWERTY keys, and they're actually now QWERTY plus the U key. So what the QWERTY keys select are these tools here along the top of the sequencer. So the Q selects the arrow key or the selection key, or the arrow tool, sorry, or otherwise known as the selection tool. The W key selects the pencil tool, and let's see, pencil tool. The E key selects the eraser tool. The R key selects the razor blade tool. The T key selects the mute tool. The Y key selects the magnifying glass or zoom tool. And the U key selects the grab tool. The next key I wanted to talk about is the tab key. And if you've been using Reason for any length of time, I'm sure you use this as much as I do. The tab key I use all the time. And if we look at the rec and I hit the tab key, we switch to the back of the rec. Hit the tab key again, we see the front of the rec. Use it constantly. I'm sure that if you've been using Reason for any length of time, you use it all the time as well. Now with Reason and Record, there are three other keys that are used a lot, and those keys are F5, F6, and F7. If I hit F5, it expands the mixer. So we have our mixer here. If I hit F6, it expands the rec. And F7 expands the sequencer. Another Reason quick key I use a lot is the Alt key. The Alt key is perfect for when you're working in the sequencer and you want to draw a new clip or draw in some MIDI notes. If we add a device here, oops. So now I have my device. The Alt key basically changes the cursor from a selection tool to a pencil tool for as long as you hold down the Alt key. And once you stop pressing the Alt key, the cursor changes back to the selection tool. And if you hold down the Alt key and the Control key, you can actually edit your velocities. And that's good for when you're in edit mode. And I'll show you that here. Draw my clip. Let's expand our sequencer and draw some MIDI notes. And so now I'm holding down the Alt key. I can actually draw my MIDI note velocity, or I can hold down the Control key as well. So Control and Alt together, and I can draw a straight line. And now you see that my velocity is off all of that line. So that's a great thing to use the Alt key for. The Alt key is also great for expanding and contracting all of your devices at once. By simply holding down the Alt key and clicking on the expand arrow, you can expand and contract all the devices at the same time. So I'm going to hold down my Alt key and click the arrow to expand and contract the devices, and if you watch, they all open and expanded at once. So if I do that again, they all collapse at once. So it's great for kind of saving space type of deal. The redrum is another place that I use the Alt key a lot. If we look at our redrum, if I hold down the Alt key while I'm actually programming steps in the redrum, it's going to give them a low velocity. So you can tell that because they're like a yellowish green color. That's normal. Not holding a button would be orange. And then likewise, if I want the velocity to be turned all the way up on these steps, I hold down the shift key. So it's Alt for light velocity, nothing for medium velocity, and then shift for high velocity. Another quick key that I use constantly, and I'm sure you do too, you use it for almost anything, is a spacebar. Spacebar starts and stops the playback. Pretty simple. Another good one down here with the loop function, if you press the L key, it's going to toggle on and off the loop function. The C key toggles off the click function on and off for the C key. The K key, actually, if I turn my rack around, the K key actually removes cable clutter. So if I click my K key, you can see all my cables disappeared. Now, one place that you would have to go to choose your preference for this is here in the preferences, the general drop down, reduce cable clutter setting, and I have hide all cables. So you can select which ones you would like to use best for the K shortcut. By holding down the control key and clicking your mouse on a fader or knob, it will actually bring that fader or knob back to the default value. So any of these can be changed. Change this just by holding down the control key and clicking the knob. It's going to take it back to the default value. A couple other keys that I use quite frequently are the number pad 4 and 5 keys. So if I pull up my sequencer, if I'm pressing on the 5 key, it's going to fast forward. The number 4 key rewinds. The plus symbol or the plus key on the number pad actually increases the tempo by 1 BPM, and the minus key decreases tempo by 1 BPM. And the asterisk key actually starts and stops recording. So you can see we're recording, stop the recording, start the recording, stop the recording, start the recording. So, and actually it doesn't stop the recording, it actually removes the recording. Another really good quick key is the shift key when creating a new device. So I'm going to pull up my rack and create this Kong drum designer. And I held down shift when I created that. If I turn around, it's not auto rerouted. So holding down the shift key while creating a new device completely removes auto routing. If you hold down the shift key and hit the tab button, will actually toggle you back and forth between edit and arrange mode. So now I'm in edit mode, now I'm in arrange mode, edit mode, arrange mode. So in record, a couple good ones are to create an audio track. Hold the control button and click T. It's going to create a new audio track. The control button and I will open up the browser dialog to create an instrument. Holding down the control button and clicking F will open the browser to create an effect. Another one would be F8. We'll bring up this tool window here and close that tool window. And then another handy one is F4, which brings up the on-screen piano keys. So you can actually play notes with your keyboard, essentially. There's also the mouse tab, and you can play notes by clicking on the piano keys. So The last thing that I wanted to show you was just something that I kind of stumbled upon. You may know of it, but I didn't know of it, and it's this collapse feature down at the bottom, or this zoom feature. So this feature here, which zooms in by dragging and dropping, or by dragging the edges here. One thing I figured out was that if I right click in this area and I move my cursor up, I'm going to zoom in. If I move the cursor down, I zoom out. And when I'm zoomed in, I can still move left and right. So I can zoom in and kind of move to a spot just by holding down the right mouse button on my mouse. So that's it. Hopefully this was helpful. Have a good day.